I think the best way to get into polygonal modeling is to learn by doing. So let's model a light fixture. Start by creating a cylinder primitive with keyboard entry. Set the radius at 8 inches and the height at 2. Create that cylinder at the origin point. Go into the front viewport and zoom in. Let's say we want to make a ceiling-mounted light fixture. We're looking at the elevation of this object right now here in the front viewport. Let's assume that this major grid line represents the ceiling plane. So we should have the light fixture hanging down from that. We can either move the object down 2 inches or set its height at -2 inches. And that's what I'll do. I have something in mind for this object already. Let's set the height segments at 6 so that we have an even number. I plan to detail this edge, and I need an even number of segments to do it. Go back to Perspective and zoom in. Turn off the grid, toggle on edged faces. All of these things should be second nature to you now. I'll zoom in a little more, and the object looks too chunky. Let's change the number of sides to 32. Right-click and convert the object into an editable poly. There's no going back now to that primitive. I can't easily change the number of segments, for example. So it's important that you dial in the primitive just as you want it prior to converting into an editable poly. Go to the edge level and select one of the edges. You can adjust your selection with these tools here. If you grow the selection, it will select adjacent edges like that. I'll shrink it back down to just one edge. You can use the ring spinner to select different edges in one direction, and the loop spinner to select edges in another direction. If you hold down the Control key, you can get contiguous edges. And I'll do that so that I have 5 edges selected. Here I've selected the 5 inner edges. I'll hold down the Control key again and deselect these 2, so that I'm left with a selection of 3 edges that are alternating. Now, I can hold down the Control key and select additional edges in the loop direction, but in this case I want to get them all. I'll just click on the loop button and that will select 96 edges. So here I have 3 entire loops of edges selected. Use the Scale tool in Selection Center mode so that the transform gizmo is right in the middle of all of those edges. Scale it up just slightly so that you puff those edges out a bit. This will detail the edge of the object to create a beveled effect. Rename the object Fixture Body. This is the part of the light fixture that will rest on the ceiling.